Hey fam, I hope you're doing fine. I realized I think that's my signature start of an episode. You would not feel safe. I think if I ever started an episode without saying that, you should know I've been held at gunpoint and I'm not the one doing this episode. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing fine and taking care of yourselves and staying sane and alive and healthy and hydrating and minding your business. I have a lot on my mind today, and I was thinking of a way to release and let it out and share vulnerably as it is, without trying to edit and choose what to put out here and what not to. And what do I say? I'm hoping that's a deep inhale. Probably the sound has been messed with. But yeah, what's on my mind? A lot really. Today I've been thinking about how hard it is to actually make it while you're broke. How hard it is to chase your dreams, all these things I come on here and preach, and how hard that has to be able to pull off when you're barely trying to keep it together, you're trying to find a plate of food. And I think most of the times I may sound when I replay my episodes, I feel like they've come off from a point of privilege. You are assured accommodation, a roof over your head, a plate of food, clean water. It's really hard to even get up in the morning and try to find yourself when you are just trying to find a plate of food. And I don't think we talk about that enough. We actually don't even talk about it because we are so carried away with trying to prove that, I don't know. Isn't that sorry, ignore that sound. Isn't that what everyone else is trying to do, to try and prove that? Okay, not to prove. I think we are too afraid of admitting that, you know what, life is hard. We are so afraid of admitting that we come from messed up families. Our parents are not together anymore. We are raised by single moms or single dads. We have our siblings who are struggling to make it in school. We come from really broken systems, from our families to the schools we go to. And here we are now with the evolution of the internet. We are trying to prove that I have my shit way more together than everyone else does. And yeah, I think I've noticed that pattern because I'm thinking I'm at a point where it's really hard for me to show up here. Initially, I'd say that I'd do this podcast every week, every Tuesday? Yes. And then I get to a point where I can no longer do every week. I say I'll do twice a week. I remember even putting a video out and saying life is busy, and then now I can barely get myself to do an episode every month. And not because I am not passionate enough. I'm actually very, very, very passionate about this podcast and conversation and brilliant people and brilliant minds, and I can't seem to get myself to pull off an episode every month for reasons that, for other people, for different people, may come off as if mediocre or unserious or excuses, but so it's hard out here. I remember putting out a video, I think 2 weeks ago, saying how are people in the mid-20s holding up. I don't want to go on and on. I'm going to pause this, edit and put a break, and then see you on the other side of the next soliloque. Soliloque is conversation you have in your mind or with yourself. Dialogue is 2 people and conversation is 3 people. Okay, anyways, see you on the other side. So I don't know how you guys are holding up. Really, I am dealing with midlife crisis at 26, and this is not a joke or something I read in a book. Like, I'm literally. Do people have their life together at 26? No, I know the drill. Like, I am smart enough to know that people don't usually have their life together at 26. Anyways, they'd be struggling to make ends meet or figure it out or find themselves and what they're passionate about. And honestly, I don't know. Like, the whole process really just keeps me thinking, what's the freaking point of life? Like, why are we alive anyway? Is that it? Because none of us is inventing things like brand new. Like, none of us is like starting things that have never existed before. This podcast, the things I'm having here, I'm sure there is a podcast, a similar thing that's happened before, someone sharing like this. Like what's the whole point of us doing this, going through it, have children go through the same thing, then those children do the same thing? Like, what's the whole point of generations and generations repeating these things over and over again? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm thinking, like, why are we even struggling? Like, I've grown to realize that I really hate struggling. Like, I hate having to strain because life is short. Anyway, also life is not short when you're like doing freaky things with your life. It turns out to actually be way longer and it is shorter. Anyways, does life really align anyway? Do you ever have the perfect dress for a perfect party, for the perfect weather, or the day you wear your heels is the day you don't find a bike or an Uber to take you, or the day you put on a black t-shirt is the day the sun shines so hot? Do you ever is there such a thing as like perfect timing, perfect person, perfect venue, perfect dress, perfect fragrance in the air? Or things that just like you piece this together. Once you get this together, the other part is wrong. Once you meet the perfect person, it's wrong timing. You're either early, too early, they're not ready for you, or too late, you're too late for them. You should, like, does life ever get to a point where it's just where things just fit? Like, blue goes to blue, yellow goes to yellow. Like, oh God. I don't know. I think the reason I keep sharing things like this because last year, among the conversations I had, someone told me something about these podcasts, that they're an archive of knowledge, thoughts, ideas, that this, like, you don't have to share here with the pressure of blowing up or going viral. These are things that will, of course, if the internet doesn't ever vanish, that will last a lifetime. You could be dead 100 years and this episode blows up. And I think that, for me, that was like the most freeing thing about doing things like this. Like, I don't have to create buzzworthy stuff to trend. I can only focus on creating value, and whether I'm still alive or not, that could blow up or not. But one goal for sure that I will achieve, whether I blow up or not, is I'll still have achieved value. And I don't know how that's related anyway, but I'm thinking, I'm like, there comes a point in your life with your goals and you're thinking that what do I do with all this richness of wealth, of knowledge that God has gifted me with? Like a lot of young people today, a lot of people, even it doesn't even matter whether they're young or old, are very, very brilliant. Oh God, slip of a tongue. Did I want to say brilliant? Brilliant, and are underexploited. And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm thinking, I'm like, again, this is going on too long. I'm going to cut this, play for you a waking up sound so that you wake up and don't doze off to my soliloque. I'll see you on the other side again after the break. Yep. Yes, underexploited, brilliant young people. I say that because that's how I've felt in a while, Okay, not in a while. Let me not act like I'm 50. But yeah, I've been thinking that I've really tried to acquire as much knowledge, which I thought, because if I'm more intelligent or more informed, it would give me an upper hand to access more opportunities, more doors opening for me. And I'm thinking, I'm like, that doesn't get you anywhere, which has for a while now has had me think about the reality of life. It is what it is. That's what they say. Like just because you're hardworking, that doesn't mean that you'll make it. You could be hardworking all your life and still never get to a point of saying, I made it. Like you could work freaking hard and still never make it. It is what it is. It is just the nature of life. Like there's some really sad realities of that I think, I don't know, man. If you're 21, 22 and you're listening to this, I need you to know that there are harsh realities that life has that I think you come face to face with after 25 and you're like, nigga, what? Like, oh God, like that reality that you could be hardworking and disciplined and still never make it. There will be people, same as karma never works. Like, you could do all you're supposed to do and still never even smell an ounce of success. Yeah, there will be people faking it and winging it and half baking things and still somehow they eventually make it. And I cannot seem to explain that theory. I don't know if it's a bluff as well. I don't know if it's a theory the internet or society today has fed my head with, but I think it's true. Some people really just have it the easy way at life. Like, they don't really struggle at it. Yet there is you struggling to just get done with primary school, I don't know. You don't even excel with 4, 5, 7 points. You get 15. Go through high school, still struggle to finish. Go through a mid-university, still struggle to make it. Come out here and still struggle to find a legit job. And then find an average man and find an average woman and have average kids. And this and the cycle just freaking continues. And that for me, I think is my biggest fear. I don't want to be average. And I don't know if that's something my dreams have sold me to, that I do not want to be an average person. I don't want to just show up. I want to walk into a room and, I don't know, the air in there freezes because I am not ordinary, because I'm not average. And, okay, that sounds like I'm over in my head about things. But I know you'll feel the same way really about life and things. You don't just want to exist. You want to start storm. You want to change the world. You want to make a difference. You want... God, what am I saying? I'm saying that thank you, Lord, for podcasts. Thank you, Lord, for a free world that I get to sit here and just bubble about what's going on in my head, and still a free world because it's my podcast. I get to put things like this out here. Yeah, we're gonna have to take another break so that you don't doze off to my soliloque. And yeah, see you on the other side. So I think the whole point of this episode is really to just I don't know, touch grass with myself. And the point for you as a listener is to touch grass with yourself as well. And like I'm not even pushing you to, you don't have to, there is no call to action at the end of this episode. It could be as pointless as to just listen in, but no, it can't be pointless, because another sense I've developed lately is, what's the point? Like, what's the point of me coming to meet you if if I'm not enjoying your company? Like, what's the point of my effort if it's not? And I cannot help it but think about that each time I want to do something. And yeah, what's the point of this episode? Is for me to release and share truly without choosing what I say out here or not. So the point is, you get to know that not everything is as it appears like. And I'm saying that for me because honestly, I think I have double standards that I think other people have it going well, really. That it is as what? It's as glowy and butterflies and flowers as it looks on the outside. Yeah. Anyways, not the point. The point of this episode is I'm at that point where I'm really just trying to come to terms with the reality of my life, about my goals, my dreams, my passions, and all while shedding off all these, I don't know, versions of myself that I've either dropped or picked off my journey to this point. I need to get in touch with myself beyond what person A is telling me I should do, person B is telling me I should do, or what your mother thinks you should do, or your best friend, or I think I'm at that point where I'm face to face with where I am right now and where I'm headed and what demons I need to face, and truly it's not easy at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I am growing old. I don't have most of my life figured out. At 22, I thought if I figured out my why, my calling, my why am I doing this, I thought that if I did that, probably by 26 I'd be in a better place. I thought if I acquired more knowledge, I'd be ahead of my game. I thought if I was less nagging, or I'd not complain or put pressure on other people, or be a burden, I thought it would always give me an upper hand at either probably relationships or opportunities, and only to realize that even the fine tuning I'm doing for myself is not getting me anywhere. Yet there are people who don't even take the precautions to do all this for themselves and still get their life going. And another, because I reflect a lot, another thing I realized about myself, and this is going to sound very bogus, was that when I started this year, which is very ridiculous and very entitled of me, I thought by January there would be emails in my Gmail account about, I don't know, deals or breakthroughs, or can I give you the life-changing opportunity, because I thought I'd spent the entire last year really proving and building to that. I don't know why I had this delusion that I'd worked so hard, and when I look back, I realized I could have done better. And I thought like 1 year of investment into your career or this thing that you're passionate about is enough to pay off. When in actual sense, it's not. In fact, you could work hard 5 years and still not have that email come through or that phone call come through to change your life. And that's just a freaking way of life. Suck it in, Joanne. So, yeah, a friend told me, I think I've said this in the episodes before, that most of the times you think you're doing these episodes or sharing this information as a content creator for other people, when in actual sense you're doing it for yourself. And I think it's never been truer than right now. That this soliloque, again, I hope I'm using this word right. I could be here banging a buffalo, like using this word wrong the entire episode, but I hope I'm right. Like, this soliloque sounds like it's for other people, when in actual sense it's for me. It's more of like the honest conversations that I need to have with myself, that at the end of the day you have to shed off all these other versions people have fed you with, like the things people want you to do, like, because you're putting yourself out here and people are like, oh, you're great, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that, oh, you do great with that, or da da da. At the end of the day, really, I think it all comes back to you, because you, my G, Joanne, are going to live your life for the rest of your life. Like, it will be you in your sleep, in the morning, on your rough day, on your birthday, on your loneliest days, on your hardest days, on your most exciting days. So, I don't know. Oh yeah, another commercial break where I play that nice beat for you to snap out of the boredom of my soliloque and like listen again. Yep. So I don't know what life is like for most people that are my age, really. Either they're too busy to notice that, maybe this is not Kawa. I guess my life is not that busy yet for me to deflect and like not overthink a whole figuring out part of my life. Because I'm thinking if you probably had like a 9 to 5 and a busy, interesting, not like really, because work isn't supposed to be interesting, it's supposed to be like work. So I'm thinking if I had like very carried away 9 to 5 that just keeps me on my feet and running up and down and meetings and presentations and like, I think I would wake up tomorrow and say my life is perfect, simply because I'm too busy to like stay in touch with like, where I'm at with my money, my relationships, my future, my, I don't know, family, or whatever is like a big deal for me right now. Cause and I've seen this line on social media that says the Lulu is the Solulu, and yeah, I don't think I would advise anyone to stay sane and like realistic with their life, because once you face the reality of your life, a lot of things are like super, super, super scary, especially if, I don't know, because I think I hang around a lot of people that are way above my class. So, they have their life together. There is, I don't know, they're living in bigger houses, they're holding better phones. Like, these things that society, in this case, would say is what success or have my life together would look like. They're renting big houses, they're driving nice cars or buying new cars. Or they're like, like they have things going, they're planning trips at the end of the year, and then there is you. And then there is me. Yeah, so it's either we are comparing ourselves really with like the wrong people who are like at different timelines, or I don't know, or it's just this country, man, or what? I don't know. Or it's what life is supposed to be like at 26, lost, confused, a lot of questions, very few answers. The more answers you get, the more questions you get. we've been making this joke with my friend about how ignorance can be bliss. And yeah, it turns out the less you know, the better. The less you are conscious, the better your life will be, because then you're not overly checking your money, your family, your job, your career, the progress you've made. Like then you're not taking life as serious. You're thinking, let's just get through the day, da da da. But the price, I've noticed the price that I have had to pay from the time I said I needed to get my shit together has been so freaking hard. Like, it is such an expensive thing to do, to wake up today and say, you know what? Enough is enough. I need to be intentional and cautious. And so, I don't know, where am I going with all this? Let me come back with that part with where am I going with this entire, again, soliloque. Oh, before I forget, did I mention the part where I'd also thought about the fact how our dreams can be expensive, away from how hard it can be for you to even trust them when you're trying to just get food or shelter, a roof over your head, or take care of your mom, or buy a new shoe, or leave, man. I've also been thinking about how expensive our dreams they can be. Of how expensive our dreams can be. What did I say? They can be. Is that a buffalo? Okay, not the point. I know you got the point. Our dreams are really expensive, and I do not have advice for that. But I think what I can say is do what you can with what you have. But just don't quit on your dreams just because you say they are expensive. I think as much as I come on here and rant, as you share with your friends the things that are bothering you and keeping you up late at night, the one thing we won't be doing is saying we quit because it was hard at the time. If you're lucky enough to have a support system around you that lets you rant and cry and beat yourself about, like, another thing I want to emphasize is don't bottom this up. The pain, the frustrations, the anger, the regrets, the jealous, and I don't mean jealous like in a terrible, I mean jealous of like looking at your friends' lives and they're getting together and your life is not anywhere close to that. That's normal human nature. The whatever emotion it is that you're feeling in your mid-20s or at whatever point you're at really, and you're trying to like piece your life together and you're not seeing tangible results because nigga, you keep showing up every day and doing and for some reason nothing seems to be shifting your way. You're intentional, you're praying to God, you're doing the work, you're acquiring new knowledge, and for some reason that's still not enough. They say trust the process, but does the process know that we're trusting it? I've seen that line online and I'm like, really clearly I don't think that process knows we're trusting it, because if he knew that, he would, I don't know, try to like be kinder to us. It's such a tough time to really trust the process and like try to like, I don't know, what's the word? Oh, someone told me again, a friend told me that one thing they won't let me do is accept handouts. I thought that was nice. I thought that was really sweet. That as much as we are like ranting and we're not allowed to find a way out. Like, don't run. Okay, you can run. Sorry. But seriously, I've thought about the whole idea of like drop everything and like run. Like, I don't know, move countries, go and start over in Dubai, or move to God knows where in the UK and do some different work so that you don't have to deal with the reality of like life here and just be caught up in the loop of missing your family, making the money, taking nice pictures and making everyone feel like they're missing out because you're abroad and they're not. Not the point, but the point here is if I know I think I've said this in like I think my first 2-3 episodes that I know I'm not Cinderella. I'm not one of a kind. Like whatever I'm going through, our parents did go through. What I'm going through, my peers are going through. We're just probably hiding or pretending or too busy to notice that we're all living from paycheck to paycheck, or we're too scared to as a way to embrace. Like we all have these things really we are fighting. We're all trying to prove to our old OGs and OBs that hey, we have a life together. And you know what's silly is that I always thought that if I didn't have these complaints, I thought that if I could pull off that whole image of a 26-year-old who has a life together, I'll be more appealing before friends, before people giving me opportunities, before potential men. But in actual sense, it's bogus, for lack of a better word. Yeah, like so. What do I tell you? That you're not alone, really. Whatever it is that's keeping you up late at night. Same over here. We are pushing, and on most days this year, I've woken up with the idea that I absolutely have no idea what I'm doing. Like I don't know, man. That I'm just trying to find a meal and like get through the day, and yeah, and once I do that, I'm like, today is done. Yeah, and it's really helped with my anxiety because I think I suffer like severe levels of anxiety and overthinking, and I don't know where I got such issues from. My God, they sound so like white people problems or posh problems. But I can be in my head, like. But yeah, I've learned that the only way for us, for you and me to get through to December of 2024 is if I and you get through right now, the moment you listen to this episode. Because usually we don't look back. You don't get anxiety of the past, you get anxiety of the future. You're trying to see, oh, tomorrow is mine. Tomorrow is, take for example, last weekend, kids are going back to school. A lot of parents are anxious about, but once, today is Tuesday, Wednesday, so you're not worried about how you go through Monday. You're not worried how you're going to get through Thursday or Friday or Feb or Valentine's or whatever is keeping you up late at night. I've learned that the only way for you to get through later is to get through now. So breathe. Is there something you can do about the situation? If there is, please go do something. If you can't, you cannot stress about things you have no control over. I know you've had that before. And honestly, again, clearly, these conversations I'm telling them, this soliloque is for me, but I know deep inside it's helping you as well. I don't know any, but I really hope it does help. My friend again was telling me about they were sharing something about a thing they had done, and they were like, I quote, I learned that from you. And I'm like, there is no way you learned that from me. So this episodes really come off as if small talk, but at the end of the day, I when I replayed that in my mind, I'm like, I really actually underestimate how much power these episodes can be having. And I want you to know that while I do these, I don't be bluffing. I come from like a genuine place of belief and faith that everything I say here is doable once you're like in the right headspace, and like I actually believe in the things I share here. Every word, every sentence I've said here is not a thing I read from a book and came here and third partied the knowledge to you. Is that the right word anyways? But yeah, as I wrap up, really, yeah, I'm going to play that bit so that you don't miss my wrap up. Yeah, bye. Bye. See you on the other side. Don't go. As I wrap up, I was saying that it's okay if you don't want to get your shit together today. It's okay if you want to sleep in and drink maybe and procrastinate. It's really okay. I think it's all part of the process. It's okay if you want to just shut down and disappear and hide and, I don't know, run away from the realities of your life. It is really okay, because you know what? You're human. It doesn't make sense for us to come, for me to come over here and say, don't procrastinate. I mean, of course, don't. If you can't, please don't. Like, it's the right thing to do. Like, you know how they say marriage counselors be the best marriage counselors when they don't have a successful marriage of their own. Yes, so today's episode is going to be a twisted version of that. Like, it's okay, your marriage can fail, your relationship with your parents can fail. It's okay if you're on the wrong side of all these things. I mean, I myself, I am on like the wrong side of things all the time. And you know what? It is okay, because we are human beings. For you, the only way you sail through and like get on the other side is if you acknowledge that this is hard and I'm going through it. So go through it. Yeah, like sleep in. Don't open your curtains on a Sunday morning or on a Sunday morning because you're afraid of reality. Like, sleep in if you have to. Like let yourself go through the pits of whatever life is taking you through. If it's depression or whatever you're going through, like, don't fight it. Let it come. If it's loss or pain or regret or anger or the midlife crisis, whatever it is, the only way out of it is to go right through it. So let it hurt, acknowledge it. Yeah, let it sit on your chest and make it feel heavy and want to like cry or. But one thing for sure is at some point you're really going to have to get through it, because at the end of the day, what's the point of life if it's not for the living? So you're alive. Live. Get out. I am not going to get out tomorrow, that's for sure. But I guess what I really want to say is, let's go through it. I am going through it. Like, I'm not depressed or sad. I'm saying, let's go through the pain, the anger, the rejected emails, sometimes you even think maybe your email is blocked, and people seeing your emails, or like, what, are you invisible? Most of the time it's even annoying when people are telling you, oh Joanne, you're so brilliant. It's annoying because I mean, what do I have to show for it? Nothing. So, but yeah, this episode is meant to tell you that it's kawa. You're a human being. Oh, by the way, and life is short. And each time I keep thinking about how life is short, I'm like, why am I stressing? That line has made me so lazy about life, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So sleep in tomorrow if you want. Cry if you want. Eat all the junk food even while you're on your weight loss journey. Like, go through it. Let it hurt. Let it eat you up. Let it make you grow thin. But go through it. Shed off all these versions of what people keep telling you that you should do, or what they think you are supposed to be, and touch grass with who you are. At the end of the day, it's your life. You have to go through it by yourself. And yeah, so here's to going through it, to a life, and to what do I say? What are we toasting to again? We are toasting to to being speechless about life. to not figuring it out and wondering what's the whole point, and then feeling sparks of life and excitement and joy and thrill and something to look forward to in the morning, and then that phasing out again while you overthink it and question it and what's the point again. Like, here's to being messy and beautiful and passionate and ambitious and aggressive and full of life and very empty and very low, and like, here is to being truly, truly human. I will see you in the next one. Bye. I promise the next episode will be in Matia Kaseja's voice.